George Shaw said, "A fashion is nothing more but an induced epidemic." But during the 1960s, the fashion epidemic spread throughout the whole country, and some still haven't fully recovered from this craze. Fashion in the 1960s went through drastic changes, and the clothing options that are available today came from the 60s. The 1960s was an era of revolution. The Vietnam War, the hippie revolution, and the fight for women's rights, which changed the fashion world forever. Women were encouraged to show off their sexuality with revealing clothing that showed everyone that they were just as strong as men. Most of the fashion today came from the 1960s. The dramatic change was shocking and caused controversies and debates. The miniskirt, the bikini, and women wearing pants were the biggest and most shocking changes. Before the 1960s, it was common for women to wear dresses that were right below the knee and where the collar reached the neck. Anything else was foreign. However, in the 1960s, the miniskirt was introduced.
A sweatshirt cloth dress that was knee length that said "sock it to me" on it. And from there, the lengths went up higher and higher until it was really kind of scary. It was almost not a skirt anymore.
The miniskirt got shorter until it barely covered the rear end. The cut also got lower. It went from a collared neckline to showing more revealing parts of the body. Many liked this style.
Oldest daughter going to school, and when she got out of sight of the house, she took her skirt and pulled it up and rolled the waistband over, so it looked like a miniskirt after she got to school.
Although this was popular with some, many disagreed with this fashion.
I never wore a miniskirt, never. I thought they were vulgar.
The miniskirt was successful in many ways. Today we see many young people wearing miniskirts and dresses. This skirt, though from the 60s, is still one of the most worn fashions today. A change in the style is the pattern. Most of the miniskirts in the 60s had geometrical designs in bright colors. Today we see more subtle designs in solid colors. The miniskirt has been debated and everyone has an opinion about it. Even in the 1960s, people had remarks.
Well, it really looks nice. I wish every girl that had a body like that would wear those mini skirts. I think they really look nice. They really do. Should they get any shorter? I'd like it if they did. Are those too short?
Yes. I think they're horrible. They should wear shorts, don't you think? I mean, look at them. I would never wear anything like that. Look at that man staring.
Today, the miniskirt is still being debated. Mike Huckabee, the former governor of Arkansas, wrote that if a woman dresses provocatively, they are calling attention to private parts of their body. When women were asked what they thought about Huckabee's statements, they said that a woman should be able to wear whatever she wants, and there is nothing wrong with showing off legs. The miniskirt was a shocking change, but this isn't the only surprise the 1960s was going to get. Change during the 1960s that caused controversy was bathing suits. The bathing suit went from a one-piece that covered the body to a two-piece that is very common today, and to a completely topless swimsuit.
Two-piece when I was 16 and my mother disapproved. Okay. My mother did not approve. So I got married at 16 and I had a two-piece bathing suit. It was not real brief, it covered all of me. It wasn't naked, a naked bathing suit.
The two-piece swimsuit reached the navel and covered the breasts. Even though the two-piece swimsuit was very popular,
how did people react to the two-piece swimsuits?
Well, they bought them. They were good sellers.
Some people were very unhappy with them. Women were asked to leave for indecent exposure of body parts. The completely topless swimsuit wasn't as popular as the two-piece, but it was still worn to public swimming areas. Women were arrested for public nudity and asked to leave for wearing topless swimsuits.
Arrests or people being kicked out of public areas for wearing the two-piece or the topless swimsuits?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Today, we see two-piece swimsuits that are much lower than the ones from the 60s. The patterns changed from geometrical to floral and more solid colors. The two-piece swimsuits were much more successful than the topless. Rarely are women seen in public without the top of their swimsuit. The swimsuit we see today got its foundation from the 1960s. When people first started to see women wearing pants, it was astonishing.
What did you think when you first saw a woman in pants, the first time you saw a woman wearing
I
pants?
didn't like it.
No?
No, I thought they were trying to be men.
Bell-bottoms were the most commonly seen type of pants that women wore. Later, it developed into a light material that wrapped tight around the legs. Even though pants were popular among women, they were not worn to school or the workplace.
One pair of pants in the 6th grade that I could wear on Fridays, they were dress pants.
The length of the short that was considered respectable was a couple of inches above the knee. However, hot pants were very popular. Hot pants are extremely short shorts that reach the navel.
Hot suits was a jacket that came down to just below your hips, and the shorts were just slightly longer than that. And they looked really dressy.
Some women were against women in pants, but fashion still had its way.
Did you ever own a pair of pants?
Yes, and I owned them for quite a while before I dared wear them out in public.
Later on, pants were being made out of denim and developed into skinny jeans.
Ugly, full legs. Now they're sexy. They fit tight and sexy.
Hot pants are still very popular today, but today they are known as short shorts. Some people were against this fashion, but they eventually grew to accept it.
It was just fashion, just like they accepted them, like they did the bathing suits and the miniskirts and the bathing suits, and any fashion change, they would come around to accept it. It might take a little while, but they would come around and accept it.
Fashion in the 1960s went through drastic changes, and the clothing options that are available today came from the 60s. The 1960s was an era of revolution. The fight for women's rights changed the fashion world forever. Women were encouraged to show off their sexuality and strength by wearing clothing that wasn't accepted in society. Most of fashion styles today came from the 1960s. The dramatic change was shocking and caused controversies and debates. The miniskirt, the bikini, and women wearing pants were the biggest and most shocking changes.